Hi everyone, my name is Kayla DeVoogel. I'm here training at Powerhouse Gym in Tampa, Florida. I'm also preparing for Nationals next week. And here, today we are training glutes and shoulders. And this is for floridaphysique.com. Hey everyone, I'm a week out from Miami Nationals, and in this video we're doing a little bit of shoulders and glutes. So I start off with lateral raises to warm up. And from there, I'll go to shoulder press. I usually begin with around 20 to 25 pounds. And from there, I'll work my way up to 35s. I like to go really heavy on these because I feel like that's what has helped me grow this year, is going pretty heavy on shoulder press. So I'll do about 5 or 6 sets of lateral raises in between the shoulder press. So I'll switch back and forth. But I stick to the lateral raises for the side delt, and I'll throw in a couple front raises just to get the front of my delt as well. And that's pretty much it. I usually stick to the basics. I don't do anything really fancy for the shoulders. I like to do upright rows. I'll do those as well. So I'll do about 4 sets of upright rows using 30 to 40 pounds, just depending on how I feel. After I superset the lateral raises with the shoulder press, I'll do my upright rows. So I'll use 30 to 40 pounds here, and I'll do about 4 sets. And for the reps, I'll do about 12 to 15. It just depends on how my muscle feels. I like to get a good pump. Sometimes it'll take more. This year I've been focusing on my shoulders more because it's very important in bikini to show that symmetry between the glute and the shoulder. I think the shoulders are probably one of the most important muscles to work if you're going to compete in bikini. And this year I can definitely say that I've put on much more size in my shoulders from working them more frequently. So I would say about 2 to 3 times a week. I'll do one heavy day and I'll do one light day. So I don't really have a workout split for the week because I kind of listen to my body and I train intuitively. If I feel I'm having more energy one day, I will decide to do my glutes and my legs. And if I'm feeling more fatigued one day, I'll do something small like my arms or my back. But I primarily focus on training my shoulders and my glutes. So next we're going to move on to glutes and a little bit of hamstrings. I'm going to begin with the goblet squat using a 45-pound dumbbell. For these, I kind of point my toes outward because I feel it gives me a better stretch in my glutes. And from there, you're going to want to push through your heels and drive upward. So I will keep my feet pointed outward and drive in through my heel. You don't want to arch your back too much because then you're going to end up working your lower back and not your glutes. So keep your back straight, almost flat when you're pushing up. I do about 4 to 5 sets on these to warm up. And sometimes I'll superset them with a deadlift with the dumbbell, so I'll just lean forward. But you can round your back a little bit, but not too much. You'll just feel it in your glutes a little bit more than keeping your back completely straight. I do about 4 sets on the hack squat. And here I just have a 45-pound plate on each side. So I'll do about 4 sets of these and about 10 to 12 reps. And here is basically the same thing. You want to drive through your heels and keep your back straight. You don't want to stick your butt out too much. You want to keep your back straight. So that way, again, you're not putting the stress on your lower back. You're putting all the weight in your legs and your glutes. You'll see me here moving my feet quite a bit. That's because I try to get a feel for my feet, how my feet should be. So just move your feet around to whatever feels right. There is no right or wrong. I'll move my feet around outward, inward, just to get a different feel to work my quads or work my glutes. So usually before I begin doing legs, I'll just do some hip thrusts with my body weight just to warm up the back of my legs. But normally what I'll do is do my hip thrusts on the Smith machine. I like to do them on there with a bench. But here I'm just demonstrating them with a 40-pound bar just to give you an idea of how the movement should look. You can keep your feet pointed a little bit outward if you feel it helps engage your glutes more. And here again, you don't want to be sticking your butt out. You kind of just want to keep your back flat and pull in with your hamstrings and your glutes. I also like to superset as well with the cables. So here, this exercise is very similar to the goblet squat, except you're going to be using the cable. And again, here, you're going to start off with about, I would say, 50 pounds. And you can use the rope. I prefer to use the rope, and you'll put the rope all the way to the bottom. So for these, what I did is I keep a very wide stance, just like the goblet squat. You're gonna keep your feet pointed outward, and you're gonna drive up through your heels so that you're pulling in with your hamstrings and your glutes. I try not to put too much pressure on my quads because that is really not the area that I'm focusing on. I'm focusing on developing the back of my legs to match the front. So you're going to perform these the same way that you did the goblet squat. And for these, I'll do about 5 sets of 10 to 15 reps. And sometimes I'll even do a bit of a deadlift on here. So I'll superset the deadlift with the squat just to get a stretch in my hamstrings and keep a good pump. So for the stiff-legged deadlift, I do a lot of these depending on how my back feels. Usually about 5 to 6 sets of 12 to 15 reps. And for these, you don't want to arch your back. You can almost round it a little bit so that you'll feel it in your glutes more. And you're going to put a lot of the weight on your heels and also your toes. So you can basically just imagine your feet digging into the ground, and you'll feel more of it in your hamstrings and your glutes. Hey everyone, this is Kayla DeVoogel. Thank you for joining me for my glute and shoulder workout. Look for me at Miami Nationals next week, and this is for FloridaPhysique.com.